Hey everyone, it's Justin Michael. Welcome back to my channel. I'm going to do a couple things for you today. Number one, I'm going to show you two decks, and I'm going to show you a couple of books. One of the decks is going to be an unboxing. But the first deck I'm going to talk to you about is related to the books. Yesterday we went out to our favorite bookstore. It's called Second and Charles. It's down in Newark in Wilmington, Delaware. And we've been there many times, you know. And one time I was there, I picked up this book on astrology. It's In Focus, and I couldn't believe how cheap it was. Inexpensive. It's not cheap because the quality's great, but you know, it's called In Focus Astrology, and it's by Sasha Fenton. So, you know, I'm not an astrologer. I don't know much about astrology other than the basics. I probably know a little more than the average person, but I mostly know astrology as it relates to tarot. So of course, learning astrology, I sort of brush up and polish up my tarot reading, and so that's what I was aiming to do. And so this book was great, and it's first off, it's hard copy, and it has full color images. Well, mostly color, maybe not full color, but it's colored. And in the back, it has this little poster with you know, the chart and all the symbols and things. So it was great. And I noticed in the same section they had a whole bunch of other books, including one on tarot. And I was like, well, I don't need an introductory to tarot because I have 1,000 tarot books, and it's just not something I need, you know, because it's more for a beginner, and I've been at this for a while. And you know, but actually, you know, it doesn't hurt to read an introductory book, even if you know tarot well, because everybody sort of approaches it differently, and it's nice to see people's approaches and how they read them. And so yesterday when I was there, I saw this book there, and then I noticed the name on it, and it says Stephen Bright. Now, it clicked before a long time ago. When I first saw it, I had no idea who wrote the book, but then I saw it on one of Stephen's social media accounts. I was like, wow, he wrote that book. I wish I would have gotten it, because had I known it was him, I would have gotten it. He's become somewhat of a friend of mine. You know, we chat a little bit on social media, and I follow his work, and he's such a sweet guy, and just really, really intelligent and nice. So I'm a fan, and we've become friendly. So I sent him a picture of this book just sitting on the shelf yesterday, and then I took a picture of me with the face mask on holding the book up. And he was just thrilled with that because, you know, here he is in England, in the south of England where he lives, and I'm in Delaware, in the United States, and I have his book sitting on a shelf in a random strip mall in Delaware. And that's got to be a nice feeling, you know? Such a feeling of accomplishment and so forth. So I'm very happy to have sent that to you, Stephen, and we're all very proud of you, and we love your work. So I thought I would just show a bit of the book. So it's an introductory type book, like I said, and it has the majors and the minor arcana. This is fully colored, full color, and the color is actually very, very nice, if you can see. But one thing that I really like about this book a lot is, number one, it's great value. It was only $10, and but it has like the lovers as a situation. So it has a general meaning for the lovers, then it has lovers as a situation, lovers as a person, an individual, and then lovers relating to you, right? Lovers and you, and then it has keywords, a little bit about the reverse. This is a perfect book for a beginner. If you're just learning tarot, this is something you should get, because it's great. There are a lot of great introductory books out there. You kind of need like one or two, you know, just to get you started, to sort of know how tarot works, what the historical traditional meanings are for the cards, and so on and so forth, ideas for spreads. And this has all that in there. And in addition to that, it also has a little envelope in the back with a free kind of insert. I'm going to show you that. So it's like an extra. It's a poster with all the majors on it. So you can hang this in your office or your bedroom or your kitchen or wherever you want to do that. And it's like sort of like a meditation aid. Sort of, you know, you pick a card and you for daily kind of meditation, and you think about it, and it's always there, you know. And so this could really help you a lot. And I would have loved something like this when I first got started. But I still read a lot of this book, even though I've been at tarot for a while, and I'm glad I purchased it because, you know, it's just nice to know where Stephen is coming from with tarot and reading his different interpretations and things like that. So bravo, and I'm glad I did it. So, and that brings me to the deck. So Stephen Bright, as I mentioned, lives in the south of England. He's a writer, and he has created, I believe, 2 tarot decks. I only have one. I'm not familiar with the other one. I'm going to have to find it because I'm going to get a copy of it. But this one is just great, and I use it all the time. I actually had to put them in order today because I do readings with this. Nice, beautiful box here. It's very modern tarot, and you know, it's like just a nice presentation. You flip it open, it has these like little strings, these drawstrings, and it has a picture of Stephen on here with his bio, right? And it just says basically, you know, he's been interested in drawing since he was a kid, and he likes drawing people. He lives in the south of England. He has a degree in fashion, and he's a tarot enthusiast. He got his first deck in the mid-90s, something like that. And then it comes with this little guide for the deck, and the deck itself is brilliant. It's almost like a minimalist tarot. It's not like the most extravagantly drawn tarot, but it's really great for intuitive reading, and I actually like it for creative visualization, which is to say, you know, meditating on a card and stepping into the picture or adapting it to someone you know. So like well, first off, let me just tell you, the cardstock is great, and it's a little on the glossy side, but nice, not too glossy. It's just perfect, actually, and it has these really nice backs. And so this is the full here, so just to give you an idea. Now, this has been around a long time. Part of the reason I haven't reviewed this before on my channel is because I know everybody has probably heard of this, at least the people who have been around for a while, but there are actually a lot of new members of our community, a lot of people just getting into tarot. I mean, our community is growing all the time, so I thought, just in case, you know, that you haven't heard of this before, I would do a video. So this is the full, and you know, as you can see, like the shadow kind of figure standing on the mountainside with the dog, you know, it draws inspiration from the full, from the RWS, because this is like an RWS style deck. But it's nice for creative visualization, as I mentioned, because you can sort of, you know, picture that as anybody you want. You can picture it as yourself, someone you know, whoever you're reading for. And if you're just sitting here contemplating about the Fool, which is something I do sometimes with the majors, I do it with the minors too. You know, I'll take a card for the day, and I'll take that 1 or 2 cards, usually 1, and I will apply it to different situations throughout the day. It's like a little mind game I play. So like, for instance, the Fool, you know, which I think of as like new beginning, sort of, you know, blind optimism, you know, like innocence, things like that. That's what I think of the Fool, and I'll take that all day and I'll sort of apply it to different situations and things. And it's really a fun thing to do and very helpful. And the more you learn about tarot, it just keeps going. If you stay interested in it, and you really become familiar with these cards, and it's great. So this is the Magician. Again, like that shadowy figure, very modern, you know, but it's just perfect for me. Very easy to read with, this deck, and great for a beginner. It's the High Priestess. I love this Empress card. For one, I love dogs, and it's just such a peaceful, earthly image, you know? It's just really, I don't know, it's very familiar to me. The Emperor. I do know this deck is available on Amazon, and you could also look Stephen up. He's on Facebook and I believe Instagram and all those other pages. And he's such a nice guy. He's very down to earth and really, really good-natured person. A lot of motorcycles out today. The Chariot, you got a kid on a skateboard, going through the city. I think that's just brilliant, you know, because it's really obvious the meaning of the card, you know. it puts more meaning into it from a modern perspective, and I just love that. Your strength. Hermit. Cool Wheel of Fortune. Justice. The Hangman, which is the card of the year for me. Wow, these motorcycles are out and about, huh? Jeez. It's never this loud out here. I feel like I'm in the city. There's death. That's a really cool Temperance card. And here's the Devil. Modern take on tarot, on the Tower. This is the Star. Moon card. Got a lot of people walking through this driveway all the time. The Sun. Judgment. A lot going on out here today, I'm sorry. And here's the World. So just to show you some of the minors, I'm going to go through all of them, but I will show you. So here's the Ace of Cups. You know, it's a very RWS style deck. What I liked about the majors that I didn't mention while I was going through too was that they're not numbered, so you can put them in any order you like. And I sort of like that. Here's the Two of Cups. And the Three of Cups, people dancing. Four of Cups. Just a powerful deck. I love it. So here, let me just show you a few of the core cards. Okay, so here's the Page of Pentacles. It's the Knight of Pentacles. And the King. So that's it. I think you get a pretty good idea of this deck. It's very modern. It's very intuitive style, and I just love it. And Steven's such a great guy. I thought, you know what? Let me do a little walkthrough of his deck and his book. So I don't know the name of his other tarot. I believe it is. Hold on, let me see. It's on here. Founder of Tiferet Tarot. So that's something I don't have. I'm gonna have to look that up and try and find it. Sorry, I don't have that. But yeah, just something really cool, and I thought I would mention it. So also yesterday I picked up another Marseille deck, because I don't know if you know or not, but I've been on a Marseille kick, and I almost bought this a while ago. It's the Tarot de Marseille by Mary Packards. I do have her other deck, which is it's based on the Visconti Sforza, and it's really, really nice. It's good value. Because you get a reading cloth and a tarot bag and things like that, and it was, you know, $20-ish. Probably find it cheaper on Amazon. I bought it in the store. I think I paid $24 for this. But you know, I'm supporting the little guy during these hard times. But you could probably get it cheaper on Amazon. I'm not sure. But it's a nice box, and so this deck is actually based on the tarot deck from 1709 by Pierre Madenie, and it's considered to be among the most beautiful examples of its genre. It is also one of the earliest examples of the style that came to be known as Tarot de Marseille. So let's open this up and see what we got going on in here. This is kind of an unboxing here because I've never seen it. It looked almost like the CBD, you know, it looks like a Nicholas Colbert, similar. So it's just, they're all very similar from that era. You know, it's the same era as the Colbert. But nice flip top box. And comes with the tarot bag. These are nice bags, these velvet bags. And I will put this to good use, probably not for this deck because I'll keep it in the box, and I already have one of these and I use it, so it's kind of nice that I have another one. I have a second one, so really, really nice value for that. And let's take a look at the book. Gigantic deck. It's nice that I have a big Marseille deck now. This will be good for my group. You know, I'm in a Tarot de Marseille group so that people can see the images because it's nice and big. So this book, it's like a nice size, has a history. This is the first time I'm looking at it. So we're kind of looking through it together. The Italian connection, all about Visconti. Talks about Attila, or Atea. Stairway to Heaven. Wow, so this is a cool book. You know, it's got a lot of information on here. Caravan of Trumps. It's almost like a little miniature kind of, you know, Marseille book. Language of color. Wow, that's great. That's great. So it has, you know, the whole thing about colors, the Trumps. And then we have the minors. And it's full color. Wow, what a great book. I will definitely use this. So let's take a look at the cards. They have a really nice feel to them already. And I love the backs, just looking at them. So that's the backs there. So let's take a look here. All right, so here's the full. Really, really nice, actually. Not bad for a mass market deck. Card quality is nice. They're a bit big and kind of flexible. And you have the Magician. I love the, like, it's a very kind of vintage look, you know? It's a historic Marseille, so this is pretty cool and not something you see in the mass market too often, you know? There are some out there, but just not too many, and part of the reason is here in the United States, Marseille, although it is increasing in popularity, it's not the most popular, you know? You see a lot of RWS style decks, which I also like. Here's the Emperor. So again, if you're familiar with the CBD Tarot or any of the Colbert decks or any of the historic Marseille decks, you will find it very easy to read with this. It's got all the symbolism in there. So this is very cool. Nice deck. I'm glad I got this. I was on the fence about it for a long time. It was like, do I really need it? But I'm glad. It's such a nice deck. I haven't looked at the minors yet, though. Chariot. I also like the letters. Also, it has like you know, that old style, like I as J and V as U. Hermit. Wheel. We'll go through it pretty quick. I don't want this to be too long. Here's our hangman. I gotta say, I really like this deck. These images are just so nice. It comes in that great big box with the tarot bag, so it'll be perfect. I can just keep them on my shelf, you know, in the tarot bag, which I probably, since I like this deck so much, I'll probably use it a lot, you know. I was going to use that bag for something else, but I may have to use it for this if I'm going to be using it. Colors are just beautiful. I love it. And the book seemed really nice, didn't it? It was like, you know, had the color guide and everything. It all looked so easy and simple. So you can just sort of go through and skip around. There's the sun. Judgment. And the world. So let's take a look at the minor, shall we? We got the Ace of Pentacles. Here's the Two of Pentacles. Now, if you know Marseille, you can always tell the name of the artist is generally on the Two of Pentacles. That's one way to find out, you know, who created the deck. And you have Pierre Madenie, 1709. I'm not going to show you all the minors. I'm going to show you a little bit of each. Let's see, the Ace of Cups. Wow, for all you Marseille guys, man, this is a must-have. This is really a cool deck. I love how big it is too. It's nice that it's not like too big, but it's like nice and big, you know? Be good for reading for other people as well. And for groups and teaching, things like that. Let me show you the quartz. Okay, here's the page, the valet. Cavalier, Knight, and the Queen. And the King. This is one of my favorites in the whole deck, in any Marseille deck. I love the Ace of Wands. I actually have a large one printed out for the. It's almost like it's like an altar card I have from the CBD. A lot of people don't realize, but before Ben Dove died, he actually released his tarot images for free on his website, so you can print them out. You can print your own deck. You can have them print it, as long as you're not selling them. There's the Two of Wands. So I often will print stuff from. Show you the Eight of Wands. So I don't know if you don't like a big gigantic deck like this, you probably won't like this, because shuffling them, you're going to have to shuffle them long way like this. It's not a problem for me, you know. I can shuffle however. I don't have to fit them in like this. You could also riffle shuffle them too if you wanted to, but I will just actually alternatively shuffle them like this. It'll just take a little time to get used to, but you know, you can easily do it. You know what I mean? Just not hard at all. So, well, I mean, what a value, you know? So for, you know, 20 bucks or whatever, $24, you get a deck, you get a really, and it's a good quality deck, nice colors, you get this nice book, and you get a tarot bag and a reading cloth. So that's really, really cool. And her other deck also had that. But anyway, I think that's about it for today. Just wanted to show you a couple decks. I guess I covered enough, huh? And thanks for stopping by. Hope everybody's staying well. And weather's really nice here, so I'm gonna actually go out and take a walk. But I got to cook dinner first. So again, be well, stay healthy, and love and peace.